Let me just get this started. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is a great show. Amazing animation, stellar humor, and everything about it is just remarkable. While everybody is talking about how this beautiful creation got brought to life, and at the point that they enjoy it, not that much theories or analysis on Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, and I really thought that that should be addressed because Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is literally laying out the groundwork for future episodes. Here's why. Anyhow, in the episode that Doc he was buried in the coffin, he sees one of the deceased looking Clark, which is one of the Clark guys from the original Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Onto that, in that same episode of that, and they references different parts of Duck life, which included some segments from the first episode, Jobs. But Yellow Guy seems to say none of those stuff has happened, even though that one happened in the first episode. I started to think that he has literally, either because he's just dumb or he generally doesn't know. Which also leads into the final episode where they seem that they more or less have battery operated. I always see the yellow guy being the dumbest because his battery is low. Now I'm starting to think more or less that that's just multiple instances where the characters are actually more or less just different versions. It isn't just one particular version. It's multiple versions potentially of the characters. You also get to see that in the room in the final episode. Now, I started to have the theory that, in addition to their reality being crushed, and they are actually not the same people in every episode, but instead different versions of themselves each episode in a weird meta way. The show questions a lot of stuff, including existence. In that same episode, when he was questioning it with that, in the episode that Yellow Guy questioned his reality to the lamp, where he basically talks a bunch of existential stuff. More or less, some people believe in the high consult, seeing if your life is done correctly, yada yada yada, mumbo jumbo. But what if each version is that for true? And that the shorts is not just actually not a prequel, or not, or the show is not a prequel, as I thought the show was a prequel, but that each show actually happened and is actually a different incarnation with each other that they regularly show on the regular basis. Of course, I believe the Doc pilot with his life was actually also clips from the unaired pilot. It's weird that the pilot is not aired, almost like they're trying to hide something. So I personally believe also with the red guy episode transportation, red guy tried to escape. He tried to more or less go off the grid, decide his own life. Everybody, including the main characters, want to go back. Everybody's telling him to go back. All the random creatures, mechanical creatures, are telling him to go back. But he continued to go until, of course, naturally, they get trapped in the weird graveyard, junkyard type thing. Of course, you see him that he seemed to be giving up. And you got the whole thing where every train goes back to their destination. Doc also questioned it too in Jobs, more or less questioned the nonsensicalness of it, the nature. But I think that the show, above all, is questioning reality, sort of like the Matrix. The character lives is always gonna be reset, and always gonna go back to the status quo. Yellow Guy had a chance to change his fate in his existence, you know, but Doc basically took away his batteries. That was also probably intentional, not just by the writer's standpoint, but by the woman's standpoint at the end. Kind of like trying to get him out of the room, knowing that that potentially was gonna happen. Sort of writing it just like Gumball did with Rob with the painting episode. So I basically think that these episodes are more or less interconnected. It's not just wumbo jumbo one episode, but it's actually connected. Where it's three of them, not three of us, but three versions existing somewhat with or more versions with each episode. Maybe wiping some of their memories to prevent them from getting on to understanding the nonsensicalness